Parama Karuna Pohudui Jana Nitai Gaura Chandra Parama Karuna Pohudui Jana Nitai Gaura Chandra Shabhavatara Shadashira Mani Kebala Ananda Khanda Shabhavatara Shadashira Mani Kebala Ananda Khanda Bhaja Bhaja Bhai Chaitanya Nitai Shudrira Vishashakori Vishayacharya Shekroshe Majiya Mokhe Bolo Hari Hari Mokhe Bolo Hari Hari Vishayacharya Shekroshe Majiya Mokhe Bolo Hari Hari Mokhe Bolo Hari Hari Parama Karuna Pohudui Jana Nitai Gaura Chandra Dekho ore bhai Shri Bhuvanena Emona Doyal Data Pashupaki Jude Pashana Bidare Shunijara Gunagata Shunidara Gunagata Pashupaki Jude Pashana Bidare Shunijara Gunagata Sharar Majire Rohire Pori She Pore Nahilo Asha Apana Karama Munchaye Shamana Kaha Lochana Dasha Kahe Lochana Dasha Parama Karuna Pohudui Jana Nitai Gaura Chandra Can you read translation? Can you read it? Translation?
That is simply devotees' engagement in sense gratification. One simply has to chant Hare Krishna, Hare Hare without leaving.
My dear brothers, just try to examine this. Within the three worlds, there is no one like Lord Chaitanya or Lord Nityananda. They are not so great. Upon hearing the given word, peace, pride, and so much like. But what rather than regret is I am attracted by sense gratification. Since I have no attraction to the lotus feet of Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, then Yamaraja is supposed to death is punishing me by not allowing me to be attracted by them.
Enjoy. Radha Madhava Jai Kunja Vihari Radha Madhava Jai Kunja Vihari Madhava Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Jai Giridharadhari Jai Giridharadhari Giridharadhari Jai Giridharadhari Jai Shodanandana Jai Brajajana Ranjana Jai Brajajana Ranjana Brajajana Ranjana Jai Brajajana Jamuna Tira Brahmachari Jai Kunja Hare Jai Kunja Hare Jai Jamuna Tira Brahmachari Jai Kunja Hare Jai Kunja Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Oh Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Oh Haribo, 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 go to Haribo, Haribo. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Ashtatar Sarasya Samatsara Abhay Charanarabhina Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada ki ISKCON Pratishtata Acharya Śrīla Prabhupada ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki ISKCON Acharya Vrinda ki Samaveta Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Shishinitai Gauda Shitanata Pramanande Vandeyaham Sri Guru Shituta Parakamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavangscha Sri Rupam Shagarajatam Sahagana Raganatam Vidam Tang Shajibam Satwaitam Saradutam Parijana Shaitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shibishakam Vidangscha Mantra Guru Ajota Shika Guru Ganta Charanayagi Koriya Bandhan Vansha Kalpatrubi Ishta Kripa Ashindu Bevaja Patitanam Pavane Bo Vaishnava Namo Namaha Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dvav imav anushochanti Palavashad avagrahu Yalloka shastrapanatam Na rati na tad ichati Tvav imav anushochanti Balavashad avagrahu Yalloka shastrapanantam Na rati na tad ichati Mothers, Dvav, Dvau, two kinds. Imo, these. Anushochanti, they lament. Balo, ignorant. Asat, the foolish. Avagraho, taking the path of. Jat, that which. Loka, by custom. Shastra, by scripture. Upanatam, presented. Na, never. Rati, follows. Na, neither. Tat, that. Ichati, desires. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīmad Bhāgavatam Morning Class. One who does not give charity according to the customs or injunctions of the scriptures, and one who does not accept charity in that way are considered to be in the mode of ignorance. Such persons follow the path of the foolish. Surely they must lament at the end. Translation responsively. One who does not give charity according to the customs or injunctions of the scriptures, and who does not accept charity in that way, are considered to be in the mode of ignorance. Such persons follow the path of the foolish. Surely they must lament at the end. It is herein stated that one should strictly follow the scriptures if one actually wants an auspicious life. The same is explained in Bhagavad Gita, 16th chapter, text 23. Yeshashta vidhim utsrija vartate kamakarata nasasyatim avapnoti nashukam na param gatim. One who discards scriptural injunctions and acts according to his own whims attains neither perfection nor happiness, nor the supreme destination. One who does not strictly follow the terms of the Vedic injunctions never attains success in life or happiness, and what to speak of going back home, back to Godhead. One Shastric injunction holds that a householder, a Kshatriya, or an administrative head should not refuse to accept a woman if she voluntarily requests to become a wife. Since Kalakanya, the daughter of time, was deputed by Narad Muni to offer herself to Yavan Raj, the king of the Yavans could not refuse her. All transactions must be performed in light of the Shastric injunctions. The Shastric injunctions are confirmed by great sages like Narad Muni. As stated by Narottam Das Thakur, Shadu Shastra Guru Bhakya Chitete Korya Akya. One should follow the principles of saintly persons, scriptures, and the spiritual master. In this way, one is sure to attain success in life. Kalakanya, the daughter of time, presented herself before the king of the Yavanas, precisely in terms of sadhu, shastra, and guru. Thus, there was no reason for not accepting her. Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada commenting in the purport, sadhu, shastra, and guru. And these various components, they cooperatively guide us. If we were to separate these Sadhu, Shastra, Guru, separate these three things and try to function with them, with one of them exclusively, there can be problems. We can see the examples of Guru being outside of our movement, but you see that there are many spiritual organizations, it is entirely the words of the Guru, without any authority from Shastra or other sadhus. Simply one spiritual leader will speak and everyone will follow. And that you often see there's sometimes described as personality cult. And as Prabhupada says, as the purport says, without properly following these various sources of authority and guidance, they must lament at the end. Another case you could say that you could look at say Christianity and say they're entirely on the Bible without guru. Without guru, they have a Bible. Everyone's is a Bible class, and people gather and study in the Shastra, and they don't have a person particularly who they accept as an authority and surrender to. In that way, it's entirely on the Shastra. So you can see there's various diverted approaches of accepting these authorities, but as Narottam Das Thakur mentions, Prabhupada's recommending Sadhu Shastra Guru. Even in the Vaishnav line, we can be confused regarding Shastra. Just like the sages at Naimisharanya, they were confused, and they inquired from Sutta Goswami, Buddhini karmani shotabhyani vibhagashaha. There's so many, Buddhi, there's so many shastric injunctions. Buddhini karmani shotabhyani vibhagashaha, and so many different divisions, and they all have to be studied and understood to come to the conclusion. So this is not so easy. Therefore they request, Atha Shadu Trayat Sharam, O Sadhu, Trayat Sharam, the cream, the essence. Please select, identify, reveal to us the essence of all these scriptures. The most important thing, Samobrita, Atha Shadu Trayat Sharam, Samobrita Munish, Bruhi Bhadraya, Bruhi, you tell us, Bhadraya Bhutanam, Yanatma Shuprasiddhiti. Bruhi Bhadraya Bhutanam, which will be auspicious for all living beings, Yena Atma Suprasiddhiti, and which they will get full satisfaction. What is that conclusion of the Shastras? That will be beneficial for all beings and give them full satisfaction. Atma Suprasiddhiti, Suprasiddhiti, Prasiddhiti, satisfaction, Suprasiddhiti, complete satisfaction. And in this connection, Prabhupada comments that Atma means mind, intelligence, and soul. And so they're inquiring for that injunction of the scripture that will fully satisfy our minds, our intelligence, and our Atma, soul, our real self. So it's such a wonderful question. Krishna Samprashna, Sutta Goswami, he appreciated that asking such a wonderful question. Actually, it is a science, and Krishna recommends that the disciple ask questions. Pariprashnena Shevaya Pranipatena. Pranipat, you fall down. Shevaya, you render service. Pariprashnena. Regarding duties of a disciple, Krishna specifically recommends these things. Sometimes even advanced or practicing sadhakas have no questions. There should be questions. There should be questions. You can, but better not to bring questions that are not on the topic of discussion. Specific recommendation, Prabhupada says not to do that. And also not in a challenging way. How to ask a question. There's a whole etiquette. How to ask a question. So it should be, and the questions can be very, this is a tip you can do to ask good questions. You can become very dear to the devotees if you ask good questions, because it's very enlivening. You can, as you are reading Krishna consciousness and contemplating the philosophy, questions will arise in your mind. At that time, you take note of those questions, put them in your notes, on your gadget, on your mobile device, have them with you in different categories. You can categorize your questions, and then you have them there, and then when the discussions of Hari Katha are going on, and you can go down your file, and those questions that you had related to that topic which was being discussed, you can ask at that time, and it will be very much appreciated. So these are some tips to help you become more effective in following the principle of pariprashnena and inquiring. Rupa Goswami says that Saddharma Shadu Pricha, the third item of sadhana bhakti. Guru Padashraya Diksha Guru Reshavaya. Guru Rashava, Saddharma Shadu Priksha, inquiring about religious Saddharma Shadu Priksha, inquiring about religious principles. It's the fourth item he mentions in the 64 items of Sadhananga Bhakti, Choishati Sadhananga. There was another incident regarding confusion of the Shastra. That's described in Chaitanya Bhagavat, Adikanda chapter 14, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nimai Pandit, at this time he was Grihasta in Navadip Dham. And because what is now West Bengal and East Bengal is now Bangladesh, is a huge, Bengal Bumi Gaudadesh, it is a huge tract of land. Gaudadesh at the time of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gaudadesh actually included parts of Orissa, Bihar, all of Bangladesh. It was a huge kingdom, Gaudadesh. And Sachinandan Sri Gaudhari, he was in Navadip Dham. There were many, he had already become famous as a scholar, as a teacher, Nimai Pandit, Vyakaran. And he had also defeated Digvijay Keshav Kashmiri. At that time, all of the scholars of Navadip were traumatized. He's coming, and he's coming on his elephant with the procession and the band, horses, and he's coming and defeating all the pundits. And all the Navadip scholars were traumatized. What will we do? He will embarrass us. He's already given us warning. He's coming. And the students told Nimai Pandit, at that time he commented that about the pride of this scholar will be removed, just like a tree laden with fruits hangs low. So Krishna will remove the pride. Mahaprabhu said Krishna removes the pride. Anyway, Digvijay, that's a very wonderful incident, which perhaps we'll discuss in detail on another occasion, but we're just mentioning this to indicate that already Satchidananda Gaudhari was famous as a scholar, as a teacher. And in East Bengal, he had many followers. It mentions they were already reading his commentaries. How that? Anyway, they mentions they're reading. They're already following his dissertations on the Shastra in East Bengal. So he decided to visit East Bengal. And he traveled with some students. And he said to Lokhipriya, he said, you take care of your mother. I'll be gone for a few days and then return. Actually, he remained away for more than 3 months. And because the separation of Satchidananda was too much for Lokhipriya to tolerate, she went and one evening and sat down on the side of Ma Ganga, and in meditation she returned to her eternal place at the side of Satchidananda as Lokhipriya and a spiritual. She gave up her body, being unable to tolerate his separation. She would simply lie down at night and cry. Not sleep, lie down in a room and just cry all night. And she never told anyone about the pain in her heart. Lokhipriya. Someone was asking me yesterday about why, if Mahaprabhu was going to take sannyas, why did he get married? Well, this is this eternal associates. He comes to perform the Vidya Lila, Komar Lila, Grihastha Lila with Lokhipriya and Vishnupriya. And he comes to fulfill the desires of the devotees, to marry them as his eternal consorts. So he did in the Gaud avatar also. So traveling to Bangladesh, he arrived at the Padma River. Padma River actually is the junction between East Bengal and West Bengal. Padma River. Ma Ganga, she comes, she stretches along the north of India, and then at Ramkelly, actually, which we were discussing last night, just before Ramkelly. Excuse me. There is a place. Now there's a dam there, Faraka Dam. And there is a junction. Ma Ganga, she splits into two and she turns south, and that's called Bhagirathi. And she comes south through Mayapur, down Panihati, and into the Bay of Bengal. Ma Ganga, Bhagirathi Ganga. As brought down by Bhagirathi Maharaj. So therefore she's called Bhagirathi Ganga. And you can take the Bhagirathi Express from Krishnanagar to Calcutta every morning at 7:50 from Krishnanagar, Bhagirathi Express. So, as Bhagirathi Ganga, and Bhagirathi Maharaj, he wanted to bring Ganga to Ganga Shagar, where his ancestors had been cursed and burnt, and he wanted that Ma Ganga, sacred waters, to touch those ashes and liberate his ancestors. And Ganga Shagar, Mela was just a few days ago. Makar Shankranti, January 15, Ganga Shagar Mela. Huge, probably one of the largest religious festivals in Bengal, Ganga Shagar Mela. We have a wonderful temple project developing now at Ganga Shagar. So Ma Ganga splits there. Well, same water runs into Bangladesh, but it's called Padma River. And Ma Ganga comes down Bhagirathi. Same water, but it is not actually considered Ganga. Padma River, not considered Ganga. However, when Satchidananda traveled and he crossed the Ganga, crossed Padma River and entered into Bangladesh, at that time Padma River was blessed so that she became a holy tirtha, and subsequently anyone who bathes in her can get purified because Mahaprabhu traveling there. So in East Bengal, so many students came, and they were, every day Mahaprabhu was giving the lectures on the Shastra. Even mentions that some students he was certifying with certificates. Imagine that, having a certificate by Satchinandan Gaudhari. Yes, passed the course. Some were certified and some were just hearing. So at that time, one Brahmin came. His name was Tapan Mishra. Very interesting. The pastimes between Satchinandan and Tapan Mishra, very interesting, amazing incident. Happened on several occasions, we'll discuss. So at Tapan Mishra, he mentions that he actually was already initiated with Vaishnav Dikha mantra. And he was chanting that Vaishnav Dikha mantra. But it appears that he had guru, but he didn't have sadhu. He didn't have instruction. He had mantra dikha, but he didn't have shiksha. And he was confused, even though he was also conversant in Shastra. So there's an example. He had guru, he had Shastra, but he didn't have sadhu advising him. And he was confused. So in a dream, he had guru, he had Shastra, he didn't have sadhu to advise him how to understand Shastra. You can see examples where either one of the three is compromised and there's problems. So in a dream, an effulgent Brahmin appeared to him and said that now this person who has come, this Pandit who has come from Navadip, he's not an ordinary Pandit. In the dream, this effulgent Brahmin was explaining, he's actually the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he's appeared on this planet to propagate Nam Sankirtan and deliver all classes of beings. You go to him and he can enlighten you, he can remove your confusion. In that dream. What an amazing dream. Huh? Having a dream like that. So then the next day that Tapan Mishra, he went to where Satchinandan was staying and fell at his lotus feet. Shadan Sajja Shadan Kichu Nahi Jani. Sajja Shadan. What is the goal of life and how to achieve it? You please explain to me. So at that time, Mahaprabhu, he mercifully, actually he began his preaching in a formal way at that time. This is still, he hasn't taken initiation from Ishvara Puri. He's still performing the Vidya Lila as a Pandit. He's not preaching Krishna consciousness. But upon being inquired by Tapan Mishra, he breaks the role and he begins to actually establish the Sanatana Dharma, the eternal religious principles for the age on this occasion. And he first begins his formal preaching. Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur comments in his commentary on Chaitanya Bhagavat and Satchinandan's childhood pastimes that when he would cry as a baby and cry. And then they tried all sorts of things. They would pick him up, they would tickle him, and he would still cry. And then the ladies, they discovered that by chanting Hare Krishna, he stops crying. So then he would cry, they would all chant Hare Krishna. And also Satchinandan appeared at the time of the lunar eclipse, and also everyone was chanting Hare Krishna. So Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur explains that these are some indications of the purpose of his avatar. He's beginning to propagate in some implicit ways, but practically, explicitly, here in this is Rajshahi, not far from the birthplace of Keturi, Narottam Das Thakur. This is the place where Mahaprabhu went, Padma River. He began to formally instruct Tapan Mishra. Just as a little side note regarding that crying, that crying, Satchinandan crying, this is an amazing incident that I will share because I just find it so astonishing. One day he wouldn't stop crying. He would see the moon and the stars in the sky and he would say, give me the moon, give me the stars, give me. Amake dao. And crying. Well, we can't. Well, what do you want, child? And he kept on crying. And they said, if you want to remove my misery, then two great devotees, Jagadish and Haranya Pandit, today are making special offerings, and I want to eat those offerings. He's just a young child. This is an astonishing thing. They're thinking, what? We've never heard. What he's saying is that you offer the bhoga to me. Can you imagine that? A little kid comes up and says, I'm sick today. And way over in another part of town, some nice devotees on the Codicy, they're cooking special offerings. You offer those to me. Someone in our community, a little kid comes and says that. Can you imagine that? So Sachimata, she says, come on, this is out of the question. This is completely unacceptable in social standards, and we don't hear any example of this in the scripture. She was completely against the idea. But Jagadish and Haranya Pandit, they heard that this child, Sachinandan, wanted to eat their offerings, and they immediately became compliant with the idea. And how did the child know? Such villages away. How did he know that in this morning we were cooking special offerings? We accept that he's a representative of Lord Narayan. And then they came with all those bhoga offerings and they offered them to Nimai. Imagine that. Imagine that. And they did it. And then after that carries on, and no one thinks of him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead after that. So Jagannath Mishra is still chasing him with his stick on occasions. Kevala Shuddha Prem Arshajana Jane. This Braja Prem, where Jashoda Ma, she takes a stick and chases after Nanda Dulal. This Braja Prem is the same in Navadip Dham. Jagannath Mishra, Sachimata, they don't know that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Lord, even though he does things like that. And Brahmins, they come and they say, we all know that your son is the Supreme Lord Narayan. In a dream, a Brahman appears to Jagannath Mishra. We all know, you're instructing your child, Mishra, is useless. He's the Supreme Personality of Godhead, fully endowed with all knowledge. And in the dream, Jagannath Mishra replies, yes, my son, he may be Lord Narayan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but as his father, it is my duty to give him an education and correct him. Kevala Shuddha Prem Arshajana. They cannot conceive of his opulence as the Supreme Lord. Arshaja Dekleo Nija Shambanda Shemane. Even he displays his opulence. Arshaja Dekleo. He displays his opulence as the Supreme Lord. Nija Shambanda Shemane. They cannot give up, they cannot forget their intimate relationship as a friend, as a parent, as a lover. That's Braja Prem, and that's why this is the most Ramnakachit Upashana Brajabadu Bhagena Jakalpita. What is the most pleasing worship offered to Sri Hari from all of his devotees? The Ramnakachit Upashana worship. Kachit, which is the Ramna most pleasing. Ramna Kachit Upashana Brajabadu Bhagena Jakalpita. That which is offered by the residents of Vrindavan. Because it is without any concept of opulence, and it is simply intimacy and love. So in those earlier occasions, he implicitly began inaugurating the Sankirtan movement, but here in this incident in Rajshahi, he specifically began. And so he responded to Tapa Mishra that your confusion, Bahushastra, Bahugranta, Chitta Brahma hoy. Bahushastra, Bahugranta, Chitta Brahma hoy. Too much Shastra, too much reading, too many scriptures, Chitta Brahma hoy. You become confused in the heart. Shadan, Sadan, Shadda, Tatta, Nishchoina, Bujai, you will not understand the conclusion. So just reading on your own, Bahushastra, Bahugranta, Chitta Brahma hoy, you'll become confused. Or you have to have a guide in your study of Shastra. And then Sachinandan, he began to explain that the conclusion of all the Shastras. And he quoted various important verses that iti sodashakam nam kalikalmashaka nashanam nata parataro nanya sarva vedeshu drishyate. Even you search through sarva vedeshu drishyate, you search through all the Vedas, you will not find paratara, a better path for removing the inauspiciousness of Kali Yuga, apart from the iti sodashakam nam nam, these 16 words, these 16 names. Kali kalmasha nashanam, they completely destroy all of the inebriety of Kali Yuga. Nata paratarapaya, you will not find a superior path in the Vedas for rectifying the indiscrepancy of Kali Yuga apart from the 16 names of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And then Sachinandan, he personally spoke. He personally inaugurated the Maha Mantra to humanity on this occasion. A shlok nam boli loy Maha Mantra sholonam aitrish akka ai tantra. Now this is the process, he says. A shlok nam boli, I'm saying, I'm giving, I am pronouncing, I am establishing. Maha mantra. Sholonam, 16 names. Aitrish akka, 32 syllables. A tantra, this is the process. This is the conclusion of all the Shastra. This is the Juga Dharma. Same incident was there when Sachinandan was initiated by Ishar Puri Prabhupada. Murka to me, you're a fool. Tomana hika Vedanta odikar. You have no qualification for studying Vedanta. Ishar Puri spoke to Sachinandan at the time of initiation. Very interesting. He's an acclaimed scholar. He defeated the Digvijay. They're coming from all over the world to hear from him. And the Guru says, Murka to me, you're a fool. Vedanta na adika, you have no eligibility to study Vedanta. Krishna nama japa shada ei mantrashar. The essence of all the Vedas is that you chant Hare Krishna constantly. And Mahaprabhu repeating the same instruction to... actually not repeating, because at that time he hadn't taken initiation, but this is the essence. And the essence, the conclusion, Hare Krishna, chanting Hare Krishna, this is the essence of all Shastric injunctions. So in this way he established, he inaugurated the preaching, his instructions. Generally, Sachinandan is preaching by relishing. Radha Krishna bol bolare shabai ishikaniya shabnadiya fichin neche gounitai ishikaniya shabnadiya fichin neche. Neche is dancing. Fichin means randomly wandering. Ishikaniya shabnadiya fichin neche gounitai Radha Krishna bol bolare shabai. This is the preaching of Sachinandan. It's Shankirtan. He's simply relishing, he's performing Shankirtan, and in this way enlivening. Mukunda Madhava Yadava Hari Bolena Bolare Vadana Bori Emon Dulab Manaba Deho Poyaki Kora Babanaki as he's doing the Sankirtan. Udilo Aruna Purava Bhage in the eastern sky in the morning. Udilo Arun, the sun has just arisen. Purava Bhage on the eastern division. Dvijamani Gauda Amani Jage, he awakes. Bhakata Samohalaya taking his associates. Gelo Nagoda Braje goes out into the villages. Tatai Tatai Bhajalo Kol. Mridanga is tapping. This is poetry of Thakur Bhaktivedanta. The words, they sound like what he's describing. Tatai Tatai Bhajalo Kol. I think it's called onomatopoeic in English. The words sound like the picture he's painting. Tatai Tatai Bhajalo Kol. Gana Gana Tahe Jajero Ro. The cartels are ringing. Preme Dala Dala Shonara Anga. Shonara Anga. His golden form, his golden limbs are Dala Dala. They're quivering in the love as he's performing the kirtan, as he's dancing. Preme Dala Dala Shonara Anga. Chodane Nupura Bhaje. Chodane around his ankles. The Nupur, the ankle bells are ringing as he's walking and dancing with the devotees. This is the preaching of Sachinandan. Who cannot join the Shankirtan movement? Kebala Ananda Kanda. So generally Sachinandan is preaching by performing Shankirtan, but there are some occasions where he gives the Upadesh. And this also was ordered. This is the direct order that he received from Ishvara Puri. Na che gao bhakti shange koro Shankirtan. After initiating Mahaprabhu, Harinam, and 10-syllable mantra, Krishna mantra, Ishvara Puri also instructs Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nache, Gao, dance and sing Bhakti Shange in the association of the devotees. Koro Shankirtan, perform Sankirtan, Krishna Nama Upadeshi, Tara Sarvajan, and instruct Sarvajan, all of humanity, in the Krishna Nam Upadesh, the science of chanting Hare Krishna. And we see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu doing this, performing Sankirtan and teaching, instructing humanity in the science of chanting Hare Krishna. So at that time, hearing this conclusive instruction, the conclusion of all the Shastra is you chant Hare Krishna. By chanting Hare Krishna, Mahaprabhu confirmed that you will quickly awaken prema, love of Godhead. So Tapan Mishra here, completely overwhelmed, completely enlivened, he said, I want to come with you. Maybe he had family and all of that, who knows, but usually that would be the case. We can expect. But he said, I want to come with you, completely inspired, completely committed. I want to come with you. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said at that time, fascinatingly, he said, go to Varanasi. Go to Varanasi. Amazing. And then he said that later I will explain to you everything about sadhana and shaddha, the practice and the goal. So this is amazing. That here is Satchidananda, he's probably 16 years old at this time, having just married Lokhi Priya, having taken initiation, 16 or 17 years old. He's already, the whole strategy is already clear. Everything. Navadip preaching, South Indian tour, traveling to Vrindavan, and then meeting Sanatana Goswami in Varanasi. Everything already planned out. And then eventually, Satchidananda, after all of these intermittent pastimes, he arrives in Varanasi. This is he's already. You can work out the because he'd taken sannyas, and then Madhya Leela is 6 years, and then that was 2 years. So it's almost 10 years later, or more. At least 10 or 12 years later. He sent him 10 or 12 years earlier. You go to Varanasi, and 10 or 12 years later, Mahaprabhu actually arrived in Varanasi, and he stayed in the house of Tapan Mishra. And when he instructed Sanatana Goswami for 4 months, that in the Chaitanya Charitamrita you will find that the teachings to Sanatana Goswami, they're the most extensive teachings. We're discussing in the evening Rupshika, that's one chapter. Although as we'll hear tonight, Shunarup Mahaprabhu is described that Krishna Tattva, Rasha Tattva, Bhakti Tattva, Pranto, Shob Shikhailo Prabhu, Bhagavat Shidanto. Shob Shikhailo Prabhu, Rupa Goswami, Mahaprabhu to Rupa Goswami, Shob Shikhailo, Bhagavat Shidanto. In one chapter, in a few verses of Chaitanya Charitamrita, Satchidananda and Gaur Hari, he teaches the entire Bhagavatam. The entire Bhagavatam to Rupa Goswami. Krishna Tattva, Bhakti Tattva, Rasha Tattva, Pranto, Shob Shikhailo Prabhu, Bhagavat Shidanto. In one chapter, he teaches the whole conclusion of the Bhagavatam. That's why it's a very special chapter, Rupshika. It's one chapter, and Sanatan Shika is 4 chapters. And Mahaprabhu, he very kindly, he facilitated Tapan Mishra fulfilling all of his desires by being present. He was present beside Sanatana Goswami for that 4-month period every day, and he heard the complete science of Krishna consciousness explained by Satchidananda and Gaudhari to Sanatana Goswami. And in this way we can see today's verse is extolling to us the importance of the 3 sources of authority and guidance, Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, Hare Krishna. Any question? Yes?
I was wondering, why is it Mahaprabhu's preaching so successful? Like, so much more successful in our preaching. Yesterday the pastor mentioning how then 1,000 or even millions of people used to follow him. But he was chanting the same Hare Krishna mantra that we're also chanting. But when we go on the street, barely anyone will follow us. Why is it like that? Different question?
The question is when maybe you repeat it.
Mahaprabhu's preaching, because his preaching was so successful. But then when we go out and even when we chant the same mantra, the mantra doesn't have the same effect. It appears that the mantra doesn't have the same effect. We don't get millions of people again.
Okay, so it's Nrikeshari? Nrikeshari Das Brahmachari. This question, there is various responses that could be offered, but I will offer this response. Prabhupada writes in the purport, in the preface to Bhagavad Gita, as it is, that actually, it's preface to Nectar of Devotion. He says that if I'm able to produce one pure devotee, my mission will be successful. So you may not see thousands and thousands and millions of people, but just you becoming surrendered to Krishna as you have, Nrikeshari, and given your life to preaching Krishna consciousness, this is tremendous. This is a tremendous effect. Even if you can make one person a devotee, that's successful. Just see what one person, what one devotee, Srila Prabhupada, what he did. So don't worry so much about numbers and the success. One devotee, Prabhupada gives, the Shastras give example that so many stars in the sky can be there, but one moon is sufficient to illuminate the dark night. So you just preach and you look for that one moon and you make that the goal of your life. You may not have thousands and millions of people following you when you're doing Shankirtan, but if you can awaken Krishna consciousness in one soul and they become a perfect, then that is sufficient. Your life is successful just if you can do that. Yeah.
Especially during the Prabhupada's book marathon, sometimes we have the focus on numbers, and then sometimes it's very hard to go out.
Well, what to say, Nrikeshwari, Prabhupada liked to hear the results, so keep that in mind. The results are not, we try to not get the wrong attitude. The results are simply that we're offering to Prabhupada. That's why we're recording the results and we're reading them, we're sending them, we're offering them to Prabhupada. Prabhupada would get joy when he would hear the results and the specific, how many books, which places they're being distributed. So that's why we record everything. And all of these other things, first place and all of that, these are, the important thing is that Prabhupada wants to hear the preaching results. And so for that reason we record the results. But it's not, we want to get result to please Prabhupada. But also Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was satisfied when the disciples would go and distribute a few magazines. He was satisfied because one book can change the world. It's transcendental, book distribution. Yes, we want results, but don't be dejected. You can't be necessarily successful all the time, but don't be discouraged. I remember the first time I went on book distribution in Melbourne. I think Vijay Prabhu or someone was coming and preaching. First time I went, and I didn't know how to distribute books. I had no idea. We weren't trained, but I wanted to. And I went to Paran, and I was on the street for 3 hours with books, and I didn't distribute a book for 3 hours, but I kept on trying. And then eventually I gave up. And then as I was leaving, I went in a shop to buy a drink, and I put the Bhagavad Gita on the counter, and the person said, "Oh, what's that? How much is that?" I thought, Krishna, he was, encouraging me. Anyway, subsequently I learned how to distribute the books, and then we could distribute a lot of books, but still that was purifying. I'm remembering that event 30 years ago. I didn't distribute any books, but I was purified. Prabhu? Yeah. I guess he's. How is it possible that Ishwar Puri can call his Chaitanya Mahaprabhu a murka, a fool? How is it possible? Now, Ishwar Puri he was aware that Satchidananda was the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He was aware of that. He had before initiating him in Gaya, he had a dream. He had a dream that tomorrow the Supreme Lord is going to come and he's going to request you for initiation. He was fully aware of that. So Prabhupada doesn't make any comment about the Ishwar Puri doing that, but I appreciate your wondering about that. It is a fascinating incident. So we can't comment so much, except that he's performing his duty. It's the duty of the Guru to correct. And he's performing his duty. Yes, Prabhu. I didn't quite get I got the Sadhu Sangha, yes, and then you asked?
So is it the general public and children and women also join in the kirtan, or that is not mentioned anywhere in the...
Well, there's another place. Yes, Ishwara Puri says Bhakti Shange, Koro Sankirtan. But there's so many places Mahaprabhu is explaining that patra apatra bicha nahi sthana. Jai jaha pai taha kore premdan. Indiscriminately distribution of the holy name. And how is that done? That's done through the Sankirtan, the public performance of congregational Sankirtan. So in Mahaprabhu's pastimes, in his example, behavior, you can see that he's taken that order. He's doing both because he's Krishna Nam Upadeshi. The verse was Nache, Gao, dance, sing, Bhakti Shange, Koro Sankirtan, do Sankirtan, Krishna Nama Upadeshi, Tara Sharvajan, and instruct all of humanity in the science of Krishna. Now you can take that as one order, that by doing Sankirtan you're also instructing, because we don't, just the holy name itself, the holy name itself is sufficient. Kali Juge Nam Rupe Krishna Avatar, Nam Rupe Krishna Avatar, Nam Hoite. If you take the Nam Hoite Hoi Shara Jagat Nishtha, just the name can deliver the whole of the universe. Jai Gaudanga Namaloi Tara Hoi Premudoi. That's the goal. Jai Gaudanga Namaloi. You take the name Gaudanga, Tara Hoi Premudoi. That will awaken prema. So the chanting is the instruction. The chanting is the teaching. The chanting is the mass education. And in addition to that, Mahaprabhu also gave instruction and empowered Rupa and Sanatan to the scriptural evidence to support the Sankirtan movement. So everything is there. And you can say that Bhakti Shange, but there's the mass distribution. However, Mahaprabhu he's surrounded by the bhaktas, and he's performing Sankirtan, and then so many new bhaktas are coming. But he's performing Sankirtan with the bhaktas while he's preaching. Yeah. Well, it probably depends where you're preaching. Depends where you're preaching. If it's a new place, then new place. I remember coming to this temple here, and gradually, actually, Prabhu, my Shikha Guru, Prabhu delivered me. Prabhu in Hobart. He was a Brahmachari preaching in Hobart, and he found me, dragged me in, and he delivered me. Only by Prabhu's mercy am I able to sit here today. So, and then I was coming to the temple here in Melbourne. After 6 months, at first I thought Prabhupada was God. I didn't know that. I couldn't work it out. After 6 months, I realized that Krishna is God. I'm coming to the Sunday feast for 6 months, and Krishna is God. And then after a while, a few months later, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is God. So, they don't know anything, so you just teach them about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If you're in a particular place where people have a particular affinity to, for example, Prabhupada installed Ram deities in some places, and that's like in Mumbai, we have Ram, Sitaram, Lakhan, Hanuman, and in Bhaktivedanta Mana. So some places, that's fine. You can where there is already people are Krishna devotees, and you can preach more about Krishna wherever. But there is no rules about this. Well, you're not going. It's not that you're going to boycott Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when you're preaching about Krishna. Obviously, we chant Hare Krishna before we do any kirtan. We chant Panchatattva Mahamantra. And people come to Mayapur, they see that the Ishta Devata of our movement is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the Panchatattva, and that's indicated by our Temple of Vedic Planetarium, which is our central and Adbhuta Mandir, from which the Sankirtan movement will be spread all over the world. And in that Mandir, Panchatattva are the Ishta Devata, the main deities. And Prabhupada, when he first went to New York and began the programs, and he was offering Bhoga and distributing, there was a picture of Panchatattva that he was worshipping. So Actually, Panchatattva is our worshipable Lord, and Panchatattva non-different from Radha Madhav, Radha Vallabh. So this is the Goswami Siddhanta. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. That's interesting that you, just at the last minute, you know, at the 11th hour, you you bring up the topic about not refusing that, which we kind of didn't really talk about in the class so much. So your question is? In a modern age? Well, at least we follow what's in Prabhupada's books and what Prabhupada recommends we follow. There are many things that are there, even for the Vaishnavas in Hari Bhakti Vilas, following a Kodasi, and so many things that were there in Gaudiya Mat and were there in general Gaudiya Vaishnavism, but Prabhupada didn't stress those things. So the aspects of the scripture that Prabhupada particularly emphasizes, and if you regularly read Prabhupada's books, you'll see very clearly what he emphasizes. He emphasizes strict following in the principles, chanting 16 rounds, sadhana practice, preaching, book distribution, taking prasadam. These are the things Prabhupada particularly emphasizes. So these things we should prioritize. Other shastric injunctions we can see from experience are not as important to us as the fundamental things that Prabhupada stresses. And with a little bit of experience, it's not so difficult to discriminate between things which are obviously very important and fundamental and things which are more optional. So things like this, they're not as important as instructions like chanting Hare Krishna regularly and associating and following the principles, etc. So with a little bit of maturity, discrimination, you can see that. These particular shastric injunctions are more in relation to ashram dharma, how a grihastha acts, or how marriage, which is not directly discussed by Rupa Goswami in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Sadhana Bhakti. Marriage, ashram dharma is not mentioned. It's not even a primary thing in the 64 items. Varnashram dharma, grihastha dharma, etc. So it's a secondary. These are secondary injunctions, which if we can follow, and it's conducive. Thank you. Contra Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.